Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't already, please consider subscribing and helping us feed a hungry hippo. And also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up as you're listening. It does help us a lot. Today is Monday, December 19th. Because it's a Monday, that means it's time for What Sold on eBay. Just like every week, guys. We're going to start with the plush sales, and I show you each and every single plush that sells every week. This week, there's only 3. And then I pick out highlights of bread and butter items and bolo items that you can be on the lookout for when you're outsourcing. Whether or not you look for bread and butter items depends on your business model and your cost of goods in your local area. We do a lot of bread and butter because we have a volume-based business. And we get most of our items for 99 cents or less. A lot of our plushies are 50 cents. So if your cost of goods in your area is a lot higher, you don't want to aim for those brands because the profit margin isn't enough. And that's why I pick out bolos. But keep in mind, the luxury brands, designer brands, the higher end items are harder to find. We find an abundance, hundreds of items every week that fall into the bread and butter category. And maybe a dozen of the really great ones. And some weeks, not even a dozen. So keep that in mind as we go through. Before we jump in on this plush here, I also want to urge everyone to join our Facebook group. It is called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It's a really great community of resellers, a positive atmosphere. You can ask questions in there and get your answers without feeling like anyone's going to make you feel dumb or anything. Really good people in there. You can look for us right on Facebook by searching for Flippin' Hippos, or you can use the link in the description box down below. I also want to make one note that our sales were a little slow this week. I feel like everyone's probably was. We're getting into the last 2 weeks. This last week, these sales here, we're looking at December 12th through the 18th, and this current week that we're in, starting with December 19th. Last 2 weeks before Christmas, for used clothing sellers, will typically slow down. That is normal. Don't panic. After Christmas, it's going to pick back up. And as we get into Q1, it should pick up even more based on history. I can't tell you what's going to happen with the economy or anything like that, but the first quarter, Q1, is typically actually a used clothing reseller's Christmas. That is our Q4. After Christmas, people get cash as gifts. Then there's tax return time. So there's a whole lot of reasons people will be coming into money and coming online to look for affordable used clothing. So if your sales are slowing down as we get close to Christmas, it's normal. Hang in there. It'll get better. Let's start with this Oriental Trading Company teddy bear. Does anybody remember Oriental Trading? When I was a kid, their books were the bomb. You could look through them. They had all kinds of like really cool party favor stuff. In fact, I think my mom shopped for a lot of my birthday parties when I was a kid from that catalog. Their plush is not worth that much. I got this guy for 50 cents. I picked him up because I recognized Oriental Trading Company, and he sold for 10 on a best offer, and he shipped first class. Next up, we have Flashlight Friends Unicorn. So this is a unicorn that has a flashlight. And she was tested, and she does work. And you can see I included a picture of that. With plush that have a visible, not like musical or singing, but if they have a visible light or their eyes glow or whatever, I do try to get a picture of them working for the listing. This came in a lot. She was about $1. She sold for a best offer of 14, and she shipped first class. This is an Aurora baby puppy dog. So there's Aurora plush, and then there's Aurora baby. Take a look at the tag. Keep Aurora baby. Aurora is a good bread and butter brand. Absolutely, but you're not going to fetch these kinds of prices. It's the Aurora baby that'll fetch these kinds of prices. I paid $1 for this pink and white puppy. I also, when the plush is clearly intended for babies or infants or has baby in the brand, I do use the word lovey. This is not a traditional lovey with the blanket and the little plushie attached to the blanket, but you can use Lovey interchangeably if it's a stuffed animal intended for a baby or a toddler. And then you can see here it has soft eyes. That's how you know it's meant for a baby, other than the fact that it clearly says Aurora Baby. The sewn on soft eyes, that's meant for a baby. So you can use the Lovey word. $28.12 is what this puppy sold for, and it did ship first class. So those were our 3 plush. We're going to get into some clothing. I think most of it is jeans because that's what we're selling right now. We're selling jeans every day. We're shipping them out. That's what we're selling the most of. I love jeans though, so I'm not complaining. They're my favorite thing to source and list other than plush. And they're the best things to show you guys because they do sell for good prices. So these are Free People. I believe I picked these up for about $2.50 back in Florida. They are size 28. They were unique. Free People is one of those brands that used to be a really sought after brand. And then here it comes every time. One time in every video, I got to mention it. Turds race to the bottom and ruin markets. They do. I remember when I first started reselling, Free People was the end all be all, and you could sell their used jeans for like $60 and $80. And I have a unique pair here that sold for $32.80. So there you go. Anyway, these shipped first class. They were small. They're skinny and a smaller size. Levi's 5.15. I do love me a Levi's 5.15. So this was a brand I sourced back in Florida, and I paid $5. And they sold for $37.49. And they did ship in a priority envelope. J. Crew. These were something I found for 99 cents. These are J. Crew the Dregs men's jeans. I love J. Crew, especially on Poshmark. J. Crew does really well, better than it does on eBay. But men's J. Crew jeans, they sell for a little bit more and they sell faster than the women's. And that's actually pretty typical across a lot of brands of jeans. But any of the J. Crews that have names, like these are the Dregs, those will do really well as well. I did take a best offer of 20, so it's a fast sell-through rate. If you can get it for $1 and it sells for 20 that quickly, you're getting a good return on your investment pretty fast. These did ship in a flat rate envelope. Next, we have 7 For All Mankind A pocket jeans. These are really nice looking jeans. I love jeans, like just in general. I like the way they look. I like wearing them. Anyway, that's a good looking pair of jeans. Flared dark wash. They are the A pocket, which it says on the waistband there. So if the manufacturer puts it on the waistband or a tag, if it says it's a keyword, I'm going to use it. I do leave out the little quotation marks around the A in the title because you don't need unnecessary punctuation up there. It does mess with the algorithm, 1, and 2, the title is really valuable real estate. So you want to use every character you have for keywords people are searching for. If you don't put the quotations and a buyer searching for the 7 For All Mankind A pocket, they're still going to find them. These sold for $29.99. Our cost was, I think, around $3. May have been $2.50, but we're going to say $3. And they shipped in a flat rate envelope. I wanted to show you guys these Avenue jeans. So this is a poop brand to most people. Most people would consider this a poop brand. But I will pick them up for $1 if they're plus size because they'll sell for $19.99. And these sold within a couple weeks of going up. So again, it's taking 99 cents, turning it into a sale of $19.99. Total profit's about $9 after fees, shipping, and everything. But they sell quickly. So you're taking your $1 and you're 9 timesing it. You're making $9. Excuse me, in 2 weeks. So it's a fast return on your investment. And that is why we like a lot of the bread and butter and the filler items because some of them will sell fast. Okay, so now we have Levi's 311. I took a best offer on these of $26.99. I do like the Levi's that say shaping skinny, too super low, and the numbers all come into play as well. With Levi's, there's a definite learning curve because there's some Levi's that are actually poop. They're the ones you can find at Walmart and Target, and people aren't going to pay money for those. There's some that are bread and butter that are solid $20 to $35 jeans. And there's some that'll sell for a lot of money. And then there's like the orange tab and the vintage. There's a whole learning curve with Levi's. I am actually, just to let you guys know, I'm very excited to be doing this. I'm creating a whole spreadsheet of Levi's to include with my updated 2023 jeans guide that will be available in a couple of weeks. Can you believe it's going to be January in a couple of weeks? Blows my mind. But that'll be available then. So I am adding to the jeans guide for 23 a couple of exciting things. And one of them is a Levi's spreadsheet. And that way when you're outsourcing, you don't have to waste so much time. If you buy our guide, you can just look at your phone and say, oh, look, the 505s will sell for 50, but the 7-Elevens only sell for 20. And then you can look at your cost of goods and see if it's worth paying what you're going to pay for it, for what it's going to sell. And there'll be a sell-through rate and everything for you to check too. Anyway, back to these. $26.99, and they shipped first class. And that is another good thing about smaller sizes and skinny jeans, which is why I still do Hollister and Aeropostale. If I can find the smaller junior sizes in those, and they're skinny and they're small, the Wanna Better Butt jeans, all those, they ship first class. I pay 99 cents, even if they sell for, $18 to $25 all day long. We like volume. But this business model isn't for everyone, so keep that in mind. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's just if it's for you and what's available to you in your area and what you can source and stuff like that. Greg Norman is a golf brand. It's bread and butter. I have sold a pair of women's Greg Norman golf pants for over $30, but the men's polo shirts, they go for about $15. This sold for $14.99. It was a 99-cent purchase, cost of goods, and it actually sold within a couple of weeks of going up. I don't think Greg Norman is typically that fast. It's usually more of a long tail brand. But sometimes you list things at the right time. There's things that people will tell you are horribly long tail, and you list it and it sells overnight. Well, that's because maybe right time, right place. Maybe some guy that wears a double XL that was looking for a blue polo shirt, didn't even have to do with the brand or anything, was online shopping, right at the right time that when we listed it. So those are our highlights from the week. This is the last week before Christmas, guys. Go be productive and get as much work done as you can before you take off for the holidays. And I'll see you again before Christmas, but I will say happy holidays now. Go be productive. Thanks for watching, guys. Y'all are the best. Bye.